Yo, PT!
Yo! Why you got a mask on, bruh?
Woo, look, you thought I was protecting myself from COVID-19. I just got through watching Grey's Anatomy. No, I'm just playing. I think they letting us outside again, man.
I see. It's about time, though. But I guess we can knock out one more virtual episode.
Yep, but it's all good. I'm checking in with my girl, Joi Tiffany from Detroit.
And I'm checking in with the Queen of Memphis, Miss Porcelain.
And we just got another hot episode for you guys. So you got to stick around. Out the Box starts now.
Yeah. Hey, how you like me now? Yeah, hey, how you like me now? Hey, how you like me? Yeah, hey, he just stepped to his groove. How you like me now? Had a two real rule. How you like me now? Oh, he got nothing left to prove. How you like me now? Been working on my next move. How you like me now? Hey, how you like me now? Worth a couple down. You know, got that wavy sound. Yeah, hey, how you like me now? Yeah, hey, how you like me now? Hey, say how you like me now. Boosie, wipe me down.
Out the Box TV, your man Roger, of course. Always, like we keep saying, we want to introduce you to legends upon legends upon legends. My girl Joi Tiffany, I've been wanting to get her on here for a good minute now, and I got her. My girl Joi Tiffany. First of all, let us know a little bit about you as an artist and, you know, the legend in the making.
Very simple. My name is Joi Tiffany. I started singing when I was 12. I got to college. I got in a band. We were very popular. A band called Remedy. We were very popular. And then afterwards, I started my own open mic in Huntsville that went on for about 10 years. I had 3 shows. I did an open mic. I did a mic check, which is rap over live instruments, over live band. And then I combined it with Soul Lounge as well. I just tour, sing, you know, I'm just a regular, scrumptious singer. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you know I pay attention to just about everything you do and say. And you've been a little transparent on your social media as of late. And one thing that caught my eye was you saying how you felt that you were getting in your own way. Now, as far as elevating your stardom, how do you feel that you kind of hindered yourself in just progressing?
One of the biggest things I did was I was listening to everybody else. When I had it of myself that, okay, this is going to work, but I thought that other people had my best interest at heart. And that led me to be really naive and take a lot of L's. I think I started to get in my own way when somehow I convinced myself that what was said was true. And I think that's how I got in my own way of not believing in my gift of myself, but more so caring, not even caring, just I heard it and I'm like, well, and that really put me in my own way because I'm really the shit.
Well, I mean, you got to let them know. If you don't let them know, they're not going to know. So tell them again.
I really am the shit. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, listen, we know as independent artists, it takes years of grinding. It takes years of dedication. It's not an overnight thing by no means. Now, you was talking about some of your losses, you know, some of those L's that you've taken. Let us know a little bit about your wins.
I had a very successful open mic. That was a win for me. Now, not financially, because my open mic broke me. It was a win for me because my soul and my spirit needed that. I made that show because I needed an open mic. I'm from Detroit. We have open mics, you know. I needed that outlet and it wasn't there. So we just kind of created it. So that was a big success for me because even on the worst days when I knew I had an open mic coming up, it changed my whole mood. Another success is that I went on my own tour. Again, broke. But I was happy for my own tour because I just got in my car and I drove. It was between Connections and I had a Fire CD. And I went to open mics and I drove myself and I had shows in between. And I did that for like almost 2 years. So those are successes. I've never, as an artist, made any money off of music. I've been in music 20 years. I've never made money. So a normal person would have been done. But when you love it at the level that I love it, like it's a part of me and it's never going to go away. And those were wins for me because I was so proud of myself. And it was a good moment.
Okay.
Exactly. And like I said, you're being very transparent. Another thing that caught my eye is you was talking about this situation that you're currently facing. Another obstacle per se called performance anxiety. So let me know a little bit about this performance anxiety because this is kind of new to me.
My performance anxiety started in 2017. I had I was supposed to get a record deal. It was all set. I was in New York. I was gonna make a jazz album. I went to meet the Divas Orchestra. I'm locked in. I fell through. I was supposed to open for Monica in Huntsville. My flight got delayed. That came through. Came through. I was supposed to have another show, like 5 things back to back. Fell through tremendously. Not like, oh, okay, well, this fell through. Well, here's another option. Like, them bitches fell through. And it just shook me. I was shook. And it put me in a really uncertain place. I didn't know. It had me questioning even if I could sing. It was so painful. And I'm still going through it. I have days where, but it's good that I'm going to therapy. I have a therapist that's really helping me because I miss, but I don't know. I just have to break through this performance anxiety because it's crippling me. And it's really painful. So I hope to conquer this very soon.
Well, listen, I know my girl Joi Tiffany is dope, so I know we're going to get that together soon. I'm waiting for that day. But speaking of which, we know that these versus battles have been going on, and we're learning as music fans, in case we forgot, we're learning how important, once again, it is for producers, writers, composers, even the artists themselves. Like, at one point in time, you had to have talent to be in this industry, and I think this is kind of reminding a lot of people about that. Now, with that being said, I know that you, since the day I've met you, have been real authentic as a person. Has there ever been a moment where you felt like you would have to sell your soul to actually get there that much faster? Or do you prefer just being authentic and whenever it pops off, it just pops off?
Hell no. I'm not in competition with nobody. The music that I create is what I hear in my head. And I specifically, when I made my album, did not want any beat that sounded like it was on the radio. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm an artist that hears this sound in her head, that likes to create and emulate instruments and do different things. Like, I hear stuff differently. So I never once wanted to make a song. I'm telling you, I've been told many times, Joi, your songs are too long. You need to make sure they're short. You're doing too much as far as the transition. You got to make a radio hit so you can go and be this and that. Numb is a radio hit. Larry is a radio hit. You feel me? What people consider hit, and that's what cripples a lot of artists in general of not creating. You got people that's been making the same music forever that wanted to do something else, but because the fans don't like it, okay, but new people don't like it. Changing yourself so people will like you is a failure. Who the fuck about to do that? Listen here, I'm smothered in delight, and that's all this is gonna be. And if you don't like the delight over here, that's smothered. You can motherfucker flip to another person. Hello.
Listen, I did not mean to set you off by no means, but it's all good. Listen, I'm naming it and I'm claiming it. You're gonna be over this performance anxiety stuff real soon, and by that point, we'll be in season 2. So I'm gonna invite you back to perform. I want you to come back and tear down the stage. All right?
I would be absolutely honored. Absolutely.
All right, but in the meantime, of course, we got another interview coming up. My man PT is going to check on my girl Porcelan. But at the end of the show, I'm going to treat you guys to my girl Joi Tiffany's track, Numb. And when I tell you this is one of the first songs I heard her do, it's a real treat for me. But before we get out of here, Joi, let them know how they can reach you. What's your social media handles and all that?
Joi Tiffany across the board, baby. JoiTiffany. Come join me. Come be smothered. I'm trying to be more open. Performance anxiety really made me shut down and not even open up. And if you knew me from the past of how silly I am, how open, it's an awkwardness. So just come, I'm opening back up. I'm trying to be get back to my old rhythm, and it's gonna be delightful.
All right, y'all, go get smothered in delight. Thank you, Joi Tiffany, for checking in with me. You guys stick around. My man PT is going to be checking in with the Queen of Memphis, Porcelan, in just a few. And yeah, right here. Keep it locked. It's Out the Box. Let's go. Yo, if you've missed any episodes of Out the Box, be sure to head to OutTheBoxTV.com to get your fix right now. Let go.
Queen of Memphis, how you doing?
What's going on?
Now, I was going to say, before we get into anything, real quick, I got to say this. I know you're from Memphis. I'm from Alabama. We a little close. So anything I say, I want you to come down here and beat me up, all right?
Okay, I might. I don't know.
I know you're from Memphis. I done seen the ending of a couple of these videos. Some people got shot now. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to be the
I said, dang, man, I'm already from Memphis. Why I do that?
see, now you see what I'm saying. So now that right there brings me into this. So you got a new album coming out called Moving. Now I can tell just by the title itself that you got several stories to tell. What is your overall concept with the album?
The overall concept for it is basically like the stages of a relationship. You may start off and things are going great. Then you may start next thing, y'all may lose the chemistry, and then you're trying to get it back. Then you may go to the next stage, like, okay, he must be messing around. You know, I was about to curse. I gotta get my. He might be be messing around with somebody. Then you go to the next stage. You know what? I gotta check and see. I gotta go see what's going on. Then you find out, and then it's basically an experience of an entire relationship. It's like the phases from 1 to 100 of what would be going through a woman's mind, because I think that it'll be relatable. It'll be relatable to males and females, because it's certain things we start to question ourselves. We start to question, dang, am I doing something wrong? Because I remember how we were, but now we like this. And then you go into that phase, you know what? I'm going to treat you like you treat me. Then you go from that to, you know what, I'm done. Then you go from that to, I'm turning up, and now I'm going to get back at you. Like, so it's like,
I'm done, but I still love you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I changed my mind. And it's crazy, you know, how it started coming together, because I was just creating, and then I started noticing, I'm like, man, my songs sure sound like they go together. Like, what's going on? Like, I went from, oh, I love you, why you switching it up on me? You was the one I could depend on, to you acting out. Now I'm going to show you because you keep messing over something good. Then it went into, now I'm going to get back at you. And I'm like, okay, why are my songs going in this,
See, now you said something with the acting out now. So you've got a new single called Act Out. You already stated, now it's a little aggressive, but it does show the process, like you said, the stages of it. Let us know a little bit about that.
When we started writing that song, I was pretty much just, I heard the beat and I said, ooh, because at the time, my producer, he was going through what he was going through. I think we all was going through something, and we were in that stage, and it's like, man, you know, this beat just make me just feel like I need to just say something, and I need to be real and transparent with what I've noticed a lot of people's thought process is. You know, people might say, oh, I would never hurt anybody, but you be like, man, if you keep hurting me, I'm going to hurt you. Like, and I've heard people say that just generally, and they feel that because you don't want anybody playing with your emotions. So Act Out is one of those records that's about, you know, just being transparent about your insecurity, about nothing could be wrong, but I feel like everything is wrong. I call you a million times just because I know what you feel. It's about really going into detail about it. It's about being transparent with yourself, coming to terms with how you really feel and how you have issues. So people, you know, you broken from past relationships.
Right.
So it's like your vision is already cloudy. So why go ahead? Why encourage my crazy thought process into making me believe you cheating on me? Are you? Because you telling
just tell me the truth.
Right. Exactly.
That's what you gotta do. Just tell me the truth. Don't have me in these streets looking stupid.
Why even take me down that road? Because you know what I'll do.
So I also hear that you collaborate with Timberland on some material. How was that experience and that whole process? Like, he's motivator in the industry. So how has that experience, like, even help develop you as an artist?
It was really great. I didn't spend a whole lot of time with him, but the time that I did spend with him and the things that I did learn, it was that the industry moves really fast. They sleep all day and they create all night. And you may create 100 songs. You may create 300 songs. You may throw away all 300. You got to just keep creating and keep building on something and find where you want to be at musically. And you got to take the time to do that. And you got to be there and dedicate and commit the time to it. And it's one thing that I did learn. And just overall, just the people in the studio that I met, the writers and just the other artists and everybody on that same wave, is just create. And just because you're creating doesn't mean you may use it, but it means that you have to get that as an artist. We have to get that out of us, and because you never know what you're gonna run up on. You run up on the jewels, so you got to spend time on it, time in the studio all night. You got to pull something meaningful out of you. So I definitely learned about what being consistent working with him.
Now I'm gonna put my cape on for this next one right here, okay?
Oh my God!
You already know where I'm going. This you released a song titled "Lois Lane." It hit number 13. Now let me know if I'm wrong. It hit number 13 on the adult R&B charts. How did that motivate you when you first heard that?
I had no idea what that song was gonna do. I just said, you know what? I got a good feeling about this song. I think this is it. There were people who didn't like it. People who didn't believe in it. I believed in the message of it. I felt like it was vulnerable but yet strong, and that's how I wanted to present myself in the market. I didn't want to seem desperate. I didn't want to seem lonely, sad, bitter, any of that. I just wanted to say something real, but not lose the value of how I feel like, where I feel like my worth is. And I feel like that song was good for me. But nobody ever, assumes that because you vibing with something, because people think I know people that think their music is great. And it's not always the case with other people. So, I was told it's only going to go up to 20, because I think when it started moving, it was like, okay, all right, okay. Then I did, I went to BET. Oh my God, right. I did BET in LA. I went to BET Awards and I did BET, it was a radio room, BET radio room, and I saw so many artists that I watched. And I was like, I'm looking at Tory Lanez, I'm looking at, Deja Lowe, I'm seeing Lyrica Anderson, I'm seeing T.I., Too Short, Ray J. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, wow, it was, I think number like 28 before I got there. And it was a guy, I ain't gonna say no name, but it was a guy who told me that my record, I shouldn't get too excited because my records take a long time to move, and that my record may take a long time before it goes anywhere further than 28. Because I was excited. I'm like, oh my God, it's 28. When is it 23? When does it go to the 17?
Right.
And he kind of was like, made me feel like, oh, okay, so all right, cool, it's going to take a while. When I left Radio Room and I had done my interviews and, spoke with people, my song that week went up like 5 chart positions. I was like, now I'm 23. I was 23. He said it was going to take a long time. It only took a week. And I was like, you know what? It ain't no limit to what this song could be. And then next thing I know, I'm number 13.
So once we get the album Mood Rings in our hands, what's one thing you expect us or you want us to learn about you from that?
Then I got different moves, and I ain't gonna always be the same. Like that, basically, when it comes to like me just in general, I might give you something different each time. Like people, the one thing they should learn about me is that I can't be boxed in. I don't like being boxed in because the mood ring changes. The whole subliminal message is that I am not a one-dimensional person.
Well, Queen of
Yes.
Memphis, Miss Porcelan, I appreciate the interview, Out the Box TV. As always, thank you. Unless you kid.
Thank you for having me. That was fun.
I gave so much, got little in return. I went full throttle, you crashed and burned. You can only try so much with somebody before the love dies. And then your body, your whole body.
That's it. Another episode of Out the Box. Look, we're almost to the end of season 1, but we got a few more treats for you guys before that happens.
Well, you know what they say, bro. Time flies when you're having fun. But y'all don't go nowhere. Where you at? We got all new episodes dropping in 2 weeks.
Until then, if you need more information, be sure to connect with us online at OutTheBoxTV.com.